Welcome to Secure the Bag Africa's African Thought Leadership webinar series, where we bring together industry leaders, speakers, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, coaches, and consultants to contribute to the African body of knowledge. Saara Shatumbu is a medical scientist and mind power coach. She's the founder of MINDQuest Africa, an organization which helps people to unlock the power of their minds and transform all areas of their lives. She's also the creator of the Blueprint, Reprogram Your Mind for Success coaching program. So today we are speaking to Saara Shatumbu. She is a medical researcher and a mind power coach and an author and a speaker. And we're so excited to have her today because we're going to be talking all about the power of your mind and how to reprogram it for success. Saara, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Christine. I'm so happy to be joining you today. As you said, my name is Saara Shatumbu. I am a medical researcher. I specialize in the field of HIV. But most passionately, I am a mind power coach. I am also a speaker and also an author. So when it comes to mind power coaching, it's really a passion of mine because I love to share with people the concepts of mind power, especially because I have seen the power or the results that I have gotten into my own life when I have reprogrammed or have taken the techniques of mind power to reprogram my own mind, the amazing results that I have gotten from that. So I really do take time to teach and equip other people with the same technique so that they reprogram their mind, take control of their thoughts, and really take control of their life. So that is really the whole concept of what being a mind power coach is all about. So thank you, Christine, for having me today.
Thank you so much, Saara. Could you just tell us what you're going to be discussing today before you get started?
So today I'm going to talk a little bit more into depth about the power of thoughts, because this is something that we are never taught to do either from school or growing up at home. You are never taught how to think. Yet thoughts or the power of thoughts really run our lives, and it directs the path our life takes. So I would like to really shed some light into this topic and really help people understand or become aware of the power of their own thoughts so that they can actually start doing something about it.
The floor is all yours, Saara. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Christine. All right, so let's get started. As I have already said, today I would like to talk about the power of your thoughts. So in this presentation, you will discover how your thoughts have been shaping your life and also the world around you, and also why it is so easy to get caught up in negative thinking than positive thinking. We'll also look at how your health is, how your thoughts have been influencing your health, your well-being, and the quality of your life, and how to gain control of your thoughts by reprogramming your mind. So the power dynamics of your thought really is you become what you think about most of the time. This is a favorite quote of mine by Brian Tracy, and it really rings true because of if you look around, I mean, the cars on the road, the furnitures in the room that you're in right now, the building that you see all around you, how men got to the moon in the first place, or the ship in the sea, they all started with a thought. So if the previous quote rings true, that our thoughts, we really become what we think about most of the time, don't you think it's more important to really pay attention to the thoughts that you constantly dwell on? Thoughts become things. This is what we are getting this is what we are trying to conclude. So the question is, what are your thoughts creating? The National Science Foundation has said that the average person has about 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. And 80% of these thoughts are negative, while 95% of these thoughts are the same as the day before. So you can see the dynamics here, that most of the thoughts that you dwell on consistently are negative. So why is this? How is this concept formed like this? Why is it that you get to dwell on negative thoughts more easily than you get to dwell on positive thoughts? So today I want to explore more on the negativity bias. This is one reason why we tend to think more negatively than it is easier for us to keep a positive mind frame all day long. So the negativity bias, it says that we develop a pattern of weighing negative information to a greater extent than positive. And this is what is known as a negativity bias. Therefore, it is easier to think negative thoughts than to think positive ones. So, for example, in most interactions, we are more likely to notice the negative things that happens and later remember them more vividly than the small negative things that have happened in the same situation. So as humans, we remember traumatic experience way better than the positive ones. We recall all the insults better than the praises that we get. We react more strongly to negative stimuli. We think about the negative things more frequently than the positive ones, and we respond more strongly to negative events than the equally positive ones that have happened at the same time. So our bias towards the negative leads us to focus more on the bad things and make them seem more important than they really are. There is a neuroscientific evidence that shows that there is a greater neural processing in the brain in response to a negative event compared to a positive event. And because the negative information causes a surge of activity in the critical information processing area of our brain, our behavior and attitudes are shaped more by bad news, experiences, or the information. And this causes a wide variety of effect on how we think, how we respond, and how we feel. So this is, in a nutshell, why our brain or our mind tends to think negatively more easier than to think positively. So I want to move into, to a more personal, on a more personal level, how your thoughts affect your health, affect your well-being, and how it also affects the quality of your life in general. And I would like to approach this concept with a topic in the medical field that I believe best explain this concept, and it's what is called a placebo effect. And basically what this is they try to experiment how our thought affects our physical body. And the placebo effect is an experiment where whenever they come up with a new drug in the medical field, they don't just give it out to the pharmacies. They first do an experiment where they have two groups of people, and to one group, they will give the actual drug, and to the other group, they will just give a fake or a sugar pill. And at the end of the experiment, they saw that not only did the group that get the real drug recover, but also the group that receive a fake drug, they also get similar results. So the question here is, to the group that didn't get the actual drug, what healed or cured their disease? Was it just, by simply believing and thinking that they were actually getting the drug? And that is where this correlation has now come up to say, if somebody really believes that it will affect them, it will affect them. And if you don't, it won't. Another experiment within the placebo umbrella that I love is the story of Dr. Bruce Moseley. In 1994, he took it even a notch higher. He wanted to see if the placebo effect works for more serious cases, such as in cases where the patient or the client will need a much higher intervention, such as surgery. So he took a group of 10 men, and all these men needed knee surgery because they were having some knee problems. And to all these men, they were all told that they'll be undergoing surgery to cure their osteoarthritis. However, only two men out of the 10 men went through the complete surgery. 3 of these men, Dr. Bruce only did half the surgery. He didn't complete it. And then the last 5, he didn't do any surgery at all. He only did a couple of incision, and then he stitched them up. And he did this because he didn't want any of the men to know who got the surgery and who didn't. In fact, they were not told anything. They were just told that they were undergone a surgery to cure their knee pain. The most interesting part of this story is that after 6 months, all 10 men, including the 5 that didn't go through any surgery, they all reported that they've been cured of their knee pain. And again, amazingly, this should get you thinking. For the 5 men that didn't get any surgery at all, how did they get cured from their knee pain, from their knee condition? Was it just by thought alone? And another important question that you should be asking yourself at this point is, if people can get cured by simply believing that they are getting cured, is it not the same on the reverse side of things? Can't people make themselves sick by simply believing that they will get sick? Things that we say to ourselves, such as, oh, I feel like I'm coming down with a cold, or I feel like I'll be sick soon. And you end up getting sick and you wonder what happened. Well, you did think about it, did you? Yeah, so that is really the dynamic of mind-body connection, mind-body control, and it is something worth digging deeper and understanding how our thoughts really control, or how it impact and influence our life in the world around us. And lastly, I wanted to just touch on how to gain control of your own thoughts, because we have now seen that the things around us have come about from the thoughts that began in somebody's mind, meaning that this is true to the negative things that are happening in your life. They also came about because a thought process started. So how do you gain control over your own thoughts so that you choose the type of thoughts that you want to think, so that you get the type of results that you want to get in life? So the number one thing is really awareness. You need to pay attention to the thoughts that go through your mind. Sometimes we leave our mind on autopilot, meaning that the outside influence or the outside circumstances get to influence and control how we think. Somebody can say something to us that will trigger a certain type of thoughts, and we continue on that trail without being aware that we can actually become aware of this thought and gain control of these thoughts. So the number one thing is to become aware of the thoughts that are going on in your mind, because awareness is a powerful technique. And when you become aware, you can now learn to flip the negative thoughts into positive thoughts. And this, of course, will take a lot of practice and a lot of repetition. However, it is doable. It is, in fact, very important that when you now become aware of the thoughts that are going on in your mind and you identify a negative thought, it is important to replace it with an equally positive thought. And the other thing as well is to reframe situations. You know, we all go through different experiences and situations throughout our day in our lives. However, it is easy to dwell on the negative aspect of a situation, it is equally important to notice the small positive aspect of that situation. If it's something that has gone wrong, what have you learned from that situation that will help you to move forward? So it's just a matter of perspective, how you look at something. And also, it's also very important to look at how we talk to ourselves. Self-talk is something that everybody does, and we do it unconsciously. We do it all the time. And most of this self-talk, if you really pay attention to them, they tend to be negative. So again, going back to my first point, becoming aware of your thoughts, also become aware of the self-talk that is going on in your mind, and learn to replace those negative self-talk with more positive and empowering thoughts and self-talk. And also, you know, the last thing is to give positive experience extra attention. I have said it before, you know, it's easier to, when something bad happens, it's easier to pay attention to the insult that somebody have said to you, rather than to a praise that you have received, for example. So it's becoming more intentional to notice this positive experiment and making a big deal out of them, and really make it a habit to celebrate this positive experience. And this is really just the process, how you start to reframe and to reprogram your thoughts and to gain more control over your thoughts, so that you direct them in the way that you want it to go. And keeping in mind that your thoughts shape your world and shapes the world around you. All right. Thank you so much. The last word that I wanted to leave you with is by James Allen. It says, "You are today where your thoughts have brought you, and you will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you." So let us become aware of the thoughts that we are constantly dwelling on a daily basis, because those are the thoughts that are shaping our world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Saara. Thank you so much for that presentation, Saara. I do have one or two questions to ask you. I like the pill. Was it a pill or a capsule that you showed? You know,
it was a pill, capsule.
And also when you talked about reframing your mind, it brought to mind how a lot of people talk about attaching meaning to things. The meaning that you attach to something is what it is to you. So I was wondering if you could just comment a bit more on that, especially when it comes to reframing your mind, because a lot of the things that bring us down or stress us are serious issues, You know, we talk about being positive, but there are serious issues that we deal with. And a lot of times there are meanings that we attach to, and we continue to attach meanings until they just grow into something beyond our control.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like that you brought that up, Christine, because in my study of mind power, I came across a concept, or it's actually a part of it's a biological part of our brain, and it's called RAS for short. However, the function of a RAS is that it filters information. Whatever you attach meaning to, as you said, that is what your mind will become more aware of. For example, if you are going through a difficult situation and you are constantly dwelling on the negative side of that situation, so what your mind is going to do is going to, whatever is going on around you, it is going to zoom in more on the negative side and ignore everything else. So, there are a lot of people going through tough times in the world, and they don't see a way around their situations. So learning and becoming more aware of how our brain functions in terms of our thought process will help us to say, okay, if I continue on this path, only focusing on the negative side of the situation that I'm going through, that is what I will constantly and will continue to experience until I change my frame of mind and start to see the possibility of a solution to my situation. Until I see and acknowledge that there is some way around what I am going through, my mind is not going to see this possibility until I acknowledge that there is that possibility.
Sarah, what does RAS stand for?
So reticular activating system is a function of your mind. It's a bundle of neurons in your brain, and it acts as a filter because your mind is so powerful and it is aware of everything at all times, right? However, if you were to function whereby at one particular moment you are aware of everything, your brain will literally melt down because of information overload. So for your brain to avoid information overload, it filters information and only help you to become aware of things that are important to you, right? So if you and this is also based on your belief system, okay? So if you believe in certain things and you pay attention to certain things, those are the things that you become more aware of in your everyday life, and it will ignore everything else. It's just like you're scrolling through your Facebook page. This is a reason why you notice certain things and you literally pass through, or some certain things just pass through without being aware of that particular thing, but it was there all along, but it wasn't important to you, or you haven't attached any meaning to it, so your brain doesn't highlight it for you to become aware of it, basically.
Sarah, I know you've talked about some of the challenges that you yourself have overcome in the past based on the power of your mind. Could you share with us one or two examples where you were in a difficult situation and you just changed the way that you thought? I want to know more about your thought process and your system.
All right, sure, Christine. I'll give you two examples. One of them is really around the area of finances, okay? Because of the way, I was brought up, I was brought up by a single mother. Money wasn't something that was readily available. And because of the financial struggle that, I've been brought up with, I built a mindset, and my thought process around money was that money is hard to come by. And if you want something, you have to take it either on credit, and, having debt is also normal, and being broke is part of life. And, with such a mindset, I was always broke because I thought that being broke is part of life. Not until I really started to study the mindset and the lifestyle of successful people, and I started to work on my mindset that you can really buy something for cash, you can really be debt free, you can learn how to manage your own finances, and have money readily available to you, and from throughout the month. So that was the change of mindset that needed to happen before I actually started seeing myself being debt free, having money in my pocket throughout the month, not only depending from paycheck to paycheck. And I see that with this new mindset, that really there is a difference between my current mindset and my money situation compared to my previous money mindset and the money situation I was in. So that is one situation. And
Sarah, sorry, just to take you back a little bit, what is your current money mindset like? What is the difference between the way you thought before and the way that you think now? And how did you get there?
Yes, Christine. So my previous money mindset was that, everybody's in debt. So it's normal to be in debt. It's normal to be broke because money is just hard to come by. There's just so many expenses that takes money from you. So, it's normal life to be broke. That was my previous mindset. But however, when I started to study the mindset and the lifestyle and just how successful people manage their money and modeling, because I believe in modeling success, learning from those that are successful and taking those lessons of what make them successful and applying them to my own life. So that is the process that I had to take to start reconditioning my mindset, and also, looking more closely to say, okay, so what really was the cause of my brokenness? What is really the cause of me being in debt? And then I discovered that I had a habit of buying things that I couldn't afford. But because I knew, I had a mindset of, if I can't afford it, I can always take it on loan, that made me to end up in debt. So it's reconditioning my mind to get rid of that habit of, if I can't afford it, then I can't get it because there's no money for me to get it. So my current mindset is, it has now been coupled with financial discipline, also disciplining my mind on how to budget, on how to live within my means, on how to, also looking for other means of making extra money, because of course, we all want to buy things, but we need to make sure that we generate extra income to afford these things. So it's really building and also reprogramming my mindset to say, all right, let me get rid of the old habits of overspending and getting myself in debt, and and building a new mindset to say there's always a way to get more money. You just need to open up your mind to opportunities, because previously I thought you can only get money through your job. But that is not true. In my current mindset, I now am able to say money is not scarce. There are opportunities out there. I just need to program my mind to say opportunities are readily available. And my mind will go to work and highlight these opportunities for me, because this is my current mindset that indeed money making opportunities are everywhere. I say that to myself all the time. Money making opportunities are everywhere. I say that to myself because this is the belief I want to recondition my mind with, so that my mind will then on itself go to work and show me where these opportunities are. So that is the trick of reconditioning my mind.
Sarah, for anybody who is watching and, going through a very difficult time financially, where it feels like there are no opportunities, there's no way out, being broke is a normal part of life, what tips could you give to help them recondition their minds? What sort of affirmations, what can they repeat to themselves that would actually work?
First of all, I like to, I love the quote by Henry Ford. He said, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, either way, you are right. And to somehow bring this into the context of what we are talking about when it comes to financial trouble is, your reality will continue to be your reality until you bring yourself to a point where you are ready to believe something different. Sometimes like you are going through the most when it comes to your financial trouble. Debt is all you can see, the rent needs to be paid at the end of the month. There is no money, and you have so many other responsibilities that, this is financial trouble is like the only noise that you can hear, and you cannot see anything else. However, that's why I'm saying awareness is a powerful tool. When you become aware that, you know what, there is something in me that I have not been able to utilize before because I didn't know about it before. But because I now know that my thoughts can become my reality, I now need to bring myself to a point where I can quiet down the noise of the financial trouble around me and start to see and believe that there is a way out of this. I think that is the beginning stage, when you can quiet down the noise of everything else or the trouble that is going on around you, and start to paint a picture of the financial prosperity that you actually want to experience, and actually craft out affirmations. That's the starting point. Affirmations to start to help you to believe that there is actually a way out of your situation. A great affirmation to start off, in fact, it start off by listening to motivational talks. Start off by listening to testimonials. Can be a great, powerful tool where you listen to how other people were able to overcome their own financial situation or the same situation that you're in. How did they do it? Because like I said, modeling success is the most powerful tool that we sometimes neglect. How did that person come out of that dark place that they were at to be where they were in, to be where they are at right now? And you apply what you are able, or what you feel like applies to you, and see how you can move yourself from where you are to where you want to go.
So, Sarah, what is an example of a good money making or abundance affirmation when your mind is plagued with these dark thoughts?
Yeah, one of, the thing about affirmation is, if I can just highlight before I give the actual affirmation that I love, sometimes our mind, our mind is wired to keep us in a place which is familiar to us. So if you're in a very difficult situation right now and you start to say affirmations so that you get out of it, the initial response of your mind is going to counteract what you are saying. So if you start to say, I am rich and I am successful, your mind is going to trigger a feeling to make you feel like you are lying to yourself. That is not true. Look around you. You have no food in your cupboard. You have no money in the bank. You are lying to yourself. So you want to be very careful how you craft your affirmation so that it doesn't bring up that feeling of, you are lying to yourself. So one affirmation that I love and what I I like to say, especially when I'm trying to change a major situation, is to go easy and just say, every day, in every way, opportunities are becoming more and more apparent. Opportunities to make money are becoming more and more available to me. Every day, in every way, opportunities of abundance are becoming more and more available. I'm not saying I'm rich. I'm not saying that I have all the money in the bank right now. I'm just saying every day, in every way, more and more opportunities to make money are becoming more and more available. It feels better than just me jumping on, I'm a billionaire.
It feels much easier, actually.
Yeah.
You feel less defensive, I
Yes,
think.
exactly. Yeah.
So, Sarah, before we move on to your coaching program, which I'd love to hear about, quickly just tell us about the second example that you wanted to share.
Yes. So the second example was really around being self-confidence, especially when it comes to career, applying for a job. I remember when I had to apply for my first job after I came back from school, after completing my master's degree. It was asking for, I didn't have enough years of experience, let me just say, because I had 4 months of working experience. And this job was asking for 3 years of experience. And previously, I will not even attempt, because I always think for every opportunity that I apply for, somehow I always get to tell myself there's probably somebody more qualified that will get this job. So I shouldn't even bother applying, like it will just be a waste of time. And this rings true for every big major opportunity that I have ever wanted to go after. But because I look at my own qualification, my own resume, and in my mind somehow just associated with this, probably somebody out there applying for the same opportunity who's more qualified than you. So don't even waste your time. So I had to go through the same mind reconditioning to say, you know what, I do have something to offer. I might not have the 3 years of experience, but hey, I have international exposure. I have this and that and that and that. I tell myself that I might not have this, but I have these other qualities that makes me equally qualified, equally, to bring out that competitive edge to go after this position or this opportunity. If they take me, wow, they have just gained a very competent person for their team. If they don't take me, there must be something out there better just waiting for me. So that is how I used to recondition my mind to say, I cannot pass by an opportunity just because I feel like I don't qualify. Let me try. If I get it, wonderful. If I don't, there must be something out there better for me, waiting for me. Yeah.
I really love that example, because it's true that you attract what you are. So basically you're saying that, you know what, if they take me, they are gaining. When your self-confidence is so healthy, let me not say too high, too low, when you have a healthy sense of self-confidence, you know your value, you know what you bring to the table. You're not going to say that, oh, because they hired me, I should just be grateful to be here. And, you're saying that they have gained an asset and you intend to perform to the highest possible standards.
Exactly.
But if they don't take you, the right people who value you will. That is an amazing example, Saara. So you got the job, I presume?
Yes, I got the job.
So Saara, I know that you are a mind power coach and you've also created a signature coaching program. What is it called? How does it work? How can we get in touch with you?
All right. So the signature coaching package is called the Blueprint. Reprogram your mind for success. And basically, it takes you through the whole process. Firstly, understanding the concepts of mind power. What is a subconscious mind? How habits are formed? The importance of building a healthy self-image, belief system, how those run our lives, limiting beliefs, how we can identify and weed out negative beliefs, and how we can replace those with more empowering beliefs. And also the other important aspect of this coaching program is that it helps you to build your own personal mind power strategy and actually integrate it into your everyday life. And it's a weekend program. It's 2 days. And we get to go through all of this. And by the end of it, you walk away with your own personal mind power strategy ready to implement and equipped with all the tools and techniques for you to work with. And yeah, it's basic. It's a wonderful program. I have taken clients through it, and I have gone through it myself. And it's a wonderful way to supplement not just the information that you read or hear, but also to put it in practice. Because the one thing about mind power is your mind have been conditioned from when you were young. So it took you years to develop the type of mindset that you have currently. So it's going to also take a process and repetition, repeating techniques and exercises for you to reprogram your current mindset to the successful mindset that you want to develop. Yeah, so that is in the nutshell the basis or the concept of the Mind Power program.
So, Saara, you mentioned that it is a 2-day program, a weekend program. What happens after that? Do you have any longer packages?
Yes. So after the weekend program, because the weekend program or this blueprint is literally supposed to be a bridge. You are in one place right now and you want to get to another place in terms of your mindset. So what the blueprint program does, it helps you to build a bridge between where you are and where you want to go. And it also gives you tools and techniques on how to cross that bridge. But unfortunately, in this program, I don't walk you over myself. So if you want me to walk with you and walk over to the other side and give you guidance along the way and hold your hand along the way, there's another program for that. And this is a one-to-one coaching session, which is much longer. It takes 4 weeks, and we go more in depth of of every module that is covered in the weekend program. And literally, this is where I get to to monitor and to evaluate and to help you through all the exercises, and also just to ensure that you get the necessary results that you're looking for when it comes to reprogramming your mind. So those are the two programs.
Thank you so much, Saara. We will definitely link your information at the end of this video. I just wanted to say thanks again for talking about this very important topic, because at the end of the day, everything starts and ends with your own mindset. That's why you find people go through terrible things and they rise victorious, and other people are completely consumed. And we're not even judging anybody, because everybody has got their own path, and your pain is your pain, your difficulties are your difficulties. But it's so great to know that there is an internal solution, your mind. And I wish you the best as you continue to inspire other people.
Thank you so much, Christine. And thank you for the opportunity to have me over to talk about something which is so close to my heart. So thank you.
It's a pleasure, Saara. See you again soon.
See you, Christine. Thank you so much.